Young and the Restless spoilers Tuesday, November 12 spoilers. The tension between Sharon Newman and Phyllis Summers continues to rise at the coffee shop, where Phyllis unexpectedly confronts Sharon. Still suspicious of Sharon's actions of running away from the funeral, Phyllis does not hesitate to call Sharon out, deliberately stirring up guilt in her. Sharon tries to keep her cool, but Phyllis hits back, claiming that she has evidence against her. This leaves Sharon confused and feeling like she is being backed into a corner. But Phyllis does not stop there. She increasingly provokes Sharon, publicly accusing her of deliberately framing her son, Daniel. Phyllis believes that Sharon is behind all the harsh events her family has faced. While Sharon is facing the accusations, Nick Newman, who was once the husband of both Sharon and Phyllis, suddenly appears and intervenes. He firmly stops Phyllis from continuing this confrontation, trying to ease the tension. After Phyllis leaves, a character who seems to belong to the past, Cameron Kirsten, suddenly appears to remind Sharon that she must not tell Nick. Cameron, with his dark past, constantly haunts Sharon and makes her lose her composure. From Cameron's perspective, he sees that Nick is starting to have doubts about Sharon. Cameron's reminder makes Sharon more anxious, making it difficult for her to concentrate when Nick asks questions. Feeling that she is being pushed into a corner by both Phyllis and Cameron, Sharon must stay calm and appear unfazed by Nick's suspicions. She knows that if she reveals any loopholes, everything will collapse. Even without real evidence, Sharon believes that Phyllis is capable of making up anything to make her look guilty. To protect herself, Sharon thinks of reporting to Chance, a familiar person in the police world. But Nick, who knew Sharon's sensitive nature, didn't want her to push things to the point where the police had to get involved. Instead, he pledged to handle Phyllis himself to avoid any misunderstandings. At Society, on a quiet night, Phyllis sat with Lauren Fenmore Baldwin, pouring out her suspicions about Sharon. Phyllis kept repeating that Sharon was definitely guilty and that she felt alone in this fight. Lauren, always listening to her friend, couldn't help but hear the desperation in Phyllis's voice. Lauren knew Phyllis was spiraling into a spiral of resentment and anger, believing anything that would exonerate Daniel, no matter how flimsy the evidence. Just then, Nick walked in, and he didn't hesitate to agree with Lauren. He approached, cornering Phyllis, demanding that she stop harassing Sharon. Nick, still protective of Sharon, decides not to let Phyllis pressure her any further. He senses that the tension between the two women has crossed a line and it's turning into a never-ending battle, pushing both of them into an irreversible situation. At GCAC, Christine Williams is having a conversation with Daniel. Despite the lack of concrete evidence, Christine cannot help but notice that Sharon is acting like a guilty, insecure, and fearful person. Christine admits to Daniel that her feelings about Sharon are a little different. Although the law cannot convict someone based on feelings alone, Christine cannot rule out the possibility that Phyllis may be right about Sharon's guilt. Daniel listens in disbelief, feeling that Sharon could be involved in Heather Stevens' death and participate in a murder. This is completely contrary to the person he once knew. However, Christine's feelings further confuse Daniel, sending him into a spiral of conflict between emotion and reason. As Sharon tries to calm down after her encounter with Phyllis, Cameron appears again, reminding her of the evidence Phyllis claims to have. Cameron keeps pressing, creating fear in Sharon, making her wonder if Phyllis really has any evidence against her. Cameron, with his domineering and manipulative nature, keeps hinting that no one can know if she is telling the truth, which only makes Sharon more fearful. In desperation, Sharon decides to take a bold action. She uses a stolen key card to sneak into Phyllis' room, hoping to find the evidence Phyllis mentioned and get rid of it before it's too late. But Sharon also knows that this is risky and could put her in danger if she is caught. After a long time away for treatment and recovery at the clinic, Ashley was finally ready to return home. With her spirits lifted and her health greatly improved, she was excited to embark on a new life. Her caring brother, Jack, assured Ashley that there was nothing to worry about, as everyone was looking forward to her return, especially the Abbott family. Ashley felt the warmth in Jack's words, like a spiritual medicine that gave her more confidence when she returned. The day Ashley arrived home, she was warmly welcomed by Tracy, Alan, and Abby. The hugs, congratulations, and love that filled the house made Ashley emotional. Everything seemed like a dream come true, and she knew that her family would always love and support her unconditionally. Abby, with the joy of a daughter about to get married, was overjoyed to have her mother back in time to share the happiness of the upcoming wedding. After being welcomed by her family, Ashley decided to visit the Newman farm, which had just been renovated to prepare for Abby's wedding. With excitement, she wandered around the farm, admiring every detail and imagining her daughter's big day. The scenery here was exquisitely decorated, reflecting the joy and excitement of the whole family. Ashley could not hide her pride and emotion when thinking about the moment of seeing Abby happy in her wedding dress. While Ashley was enjoying the romantic atmosphere of the farm, Nikki and Victor Newman appeared. They expressed their joy that Ashley was healthy and returned in time to attend this important event. Nikki and Victor greeted her warmly, thanking her for her presence that would contribute to making Abby's happy day more complete. Ashley, with emotion, felt the warm family atmosphere and affection from the Newmans, making her cherish these moments even more. When everything seemed peaceful, a tense conversation between Tracy and Jack gradually revealed secrets. Tracy had kept the secret for a long time, but today she decided to tell the truth, regardless of the consequences. She confessed to Jack that Diane Jenkins Abbott had brought Victor Newman to her side, turning him into an ally. This was unexpected information, and Tracy knew that it would cause a great shock to Jack, who had always trusted Victor. Hearing this news, Jack could not keep calm. In his eyes, Diane was a scheming woman who always knew how to manipulate others to serve her interests. The thought that Victor, a longtime friend and influential person in the family, could stand on Diane's side made Jack indignant. Without saying a word, Jack left, anger evident in every step. He could not accept that the person he trusted was allied with Diane, who might harm his family. Witnessing Jack's anger, Tracy began to fear that she had inadvertently ignited an uncontrollable explosion. Tracy knew that Jack would not be able to sit still when he felt betrayed, especially when the one who caused this was Diane. She feared that Jack's actions would have unforeseen consequences, especially when he decided to confront Diane and Victor to find answers. In Jack's mind, the harsh truth had made it impossible for him to turn back. He knew that a fight with Diane would not be an easy one, and with Victor's support, Diane would certainly become even more dangerous. But Jack also knew that he could not sit still while Diane manipulated everything. With a strong will, he was determined to protect his family and stop any plot that Diane and Victor could set up. From the confrontation at the coffee shop to the plots and torments in each character's soul, The Young and the Restless continues to stir up complex emotions and tense relationships between Sharon, Phyllis and those around them. Phyllis, with her anger and love for her children, is willing to do anything to clear Daniel's name. Sharon, a woman pushed into a dilemma, has to face accusations and hauntings from the past. Cameron, like a ghost, constantly appears and sows fear in Sharon, causing her to gradually lose confidence and belief in herself. Nick, a loyal and protective man, must choose between love and justice, trying to keep everyone from getting hurt. Each development follows one another, full of drama and emotion, pushing the story to the climax of complexity and appeal. Who will be the one to really take responsibility in this story? Is Sharon truly innocent, or was Phyllis right about her guilt? And can Nick keep the balance between the two women he once loved? All will be revealed, in a never-ending battle between conflicting emotions and dark truths. Subscribe to Yonder for the latest news on our channel.